Hello, folks. Greetings to all of you. We have been on this fantastic journey for a while now, and I would like to start this episode with expressing our gratitude towards you for your continued enthusiasm and engagement with us. It keeps us motivated to trudge further along with you, and bring you more quality conversations. Today, with me, I have Mr. Abdul Khader Jagirdar, head of global sales at TelioEV. Abdul is key to TelioEV's e-mobility efforts. With over a decade of experience in sales and marketing, Abdul brings a very rich perspective that helps us as a community achieve EV charging solutions that cast a larger impact on the quality of mobility experience for our customers. Welcome, Abdul. Welcome to this episode. Really fortunate to have you here.
Thanks, Anuj, and I replicate the same.
So, Abdul, I'll just quickly walk you through what we actually do in terms of the structure of the conversation. Usually, it is a to and fro of questions, and then we would love to have some answers from you for those questions. So we have a list of those, and we'd like to have your perspective on these queries that we have, these questions that we have. So whenever you say, we shall get right to the front of it.
Yeah, I think I'm all set. Let's start.
Oh, lovely. So here comes the first one. Yeah. Um, we're talking about EV charging and the EV charging services and software. Essentially, it is EV charging experiences today are heavily reliant on software, right? So how does the software impact the efficiency of electric vehicles?
Okay. See, generally speaking, software has been a key player in almost all the ecosystem environment of electric vehicles.
Hmm.
So, having been in this software domain for almost a decade now, so my experience has been uh, it is software is playing a very a crucial role in electric vehicles. So may it be upper level application level software, or may it be an embedded level software.
Hmm.
So all kind of softwares are pretty important, and I think somewhere software is replacing the mechanical system in which we have been seeing in ICEs, and it has been completely replaced with the software.
Hmm.
So the power driving from the battery to the the powertrain. So all these things are managed by a software, embedded software basically. So if I take a few examples, so we have softwares for managing the batteries, battery management software we call it.
Hmm.
So it is very crucial to have up-to-date understanding of battery operating in an EV. So
Hmm.
we need to understand the optimize. We need to understand the performance of the battery and the ways to optimize that performance, and the lifespan of the battery, and the state of the battery. I mean, it is how much the charge it has been done, how much is pending, or how much we have to charge, what is the temperature of the battery. All this is very crucial. And this has been completely monitored and managed by a software called battery management software. Again, another example would be regenerative braking.
Hmm.
So if I talk about regenerative braking, no, basically a software controlling the braking system, and converting that kinetic energy during the braking. Whatever the kinetic energy is generated, it will be again passed to the battery, and it will increase the efficiency of the running of the EVs.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of things which is happening, and there is thermal management, there is energy management, there is charging algorithms we have in the back end, there's a telematics and connectivity, range prediction. So all this is happening on overall on the on the basis of a software. And I think this is very crucial with the capabilities of the software in the EVs. We have been able, I mean, the industries have been able to do a lot of stuff, do predictive modeling, and give a very smooth and very a seamless experience to the users of EVs.
How
So yeah, that has been my uh, understanding overall. Yeah.
how does this optimize the range and battery life of an electric vehicle?
See, as I just mentioned, range and the battery life these are very crucial. I think there's a lot of myths which are going on in the market about the range, the battery life. People are very skeptical in the market for buying EVs because of the battery life and the range issues. And I think as belonging to a software industry, we have been continuously working on how we can optimize softwares, to give a correct understanding of the range and the battery life.
Hmm.
So one example I just quoted was in the regenerative braking system. So implementing this regenerative braking system and recovering and storing the energy
Hmm.
during the deacceleration is one of its kind. So
Hmm.
this is one way we are optimizing. Even the braking is generating the energy back to the system.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is nothing but one kind of optimization we are doing.
Hmm.
Then we are, I mean, the industry is also using a lot of energy management algorithms, okay, to efficiently distribute the power between the vehicle components,
Hmm.
okay, such as motor, battery, accessories. So this is also very important
Hmm.
because if we don't efficiently manage the power, see, battery has a certain capacity. It cannot we cannot take it for granted all the time.
Hmm.
So we have to work on a very limited power capacity, and we have to make sure we uh, we get more out of whatever power we have. So efficiently managing that battery power is also important, and this is something which a software does.
Hmm.
Okay, then we have a predictive modeling system that accounts for factors such as how the what are the driving conditions, how is the weather,
Hmm.
what is the terrain, it's a mountain or it's a a plain terrain, just to anticipate what are the energy needs of
Hmm.
that particular driving force. And
Hmm.
then again, there are charging algorithms which can optimize the charging. There's a fast charging, there's a slow charging, at what rate the battery has to charge, how we can keep the minimum possible temperature while charging.
Hmm.
So I think all of this requires a software in the backend, and industry has been continuously working on how to make this more efficient, more adaptable, and more revolutionary in terms of increasing the adaptability of the EVs.
Hmm.
Just for an example, vehicle to grid integration. It is one of its kind. I mean, uh, where we are thinking electric vehicles are one way of consuming the energy, then there is a two way which we can do. I mean, the electric vehicles can actually give back the power to the grid. Okay,
Hmm.
that's a wonderful thing actually, if we think on it. So all these things are very crucial, and software plays a very crucial role in optimizing all of this. So there are, I mean, with the capabilities of internet, I should tell you, there are over the air updates which we are giving. Just
Hmm.
like if you take an example of an OS in a mobile phone, you get continuous updates, firmware updates are there. So
Yeah.
similar way, even we can pass on the updates with the power of internet to the electric vehicles, to the chargers,
Hmm.
to the all the components and accessories which are involved in this ecosystem. So
Hmm.
that is the power the software has.
Makes the infrastructure, be it the EV or EV charging, whatever have you, too very flexible, right? It makes it too flexible,
Yes.
and I mean it is beyond the means of beyond the means of measures which don't incorporate software, right? So it remarkably enhances the overall customer experience. I totally align with you on that. I was thinking of
Right.
when you were talking of this over the air updates, then another thing that clicked was how would the software services pitch in when you talk of EV charging infrastructure, right? How will they be used, or how can they be used to manage or and monitor the EV charging infrastructure?
See, at TelioEV, we have been continuously working on how we can give a better experience to the users of EVs in terms of charging their EVs. So
Hmm.
basically, range anxiety has been a major factor
Hmm.
while adopting the EVs. We have seen that, and that is very evident in the market.
Hmm.
And just having one part of it under control will not help us. So software services as in services is very crucial element in the EV service. Like so specifically in charging infrastructure. So one part of it is I have been advocating this time and again. So see. One part is managing the charging stations which are coming in the market. That is very crucial. The upkeeping of the chargers, because if the chargers are not running and they are not equipped with the latest technologies, then there are possibilities that customers will be let down, and the experience will be really pathetic. So software as a services plays a very important role in managing these charging stations. Okay, remote management and control of the charging stations, analysis of the data which is coming. There's the OCPP algorithms, which OCPP protocols which has been used, and a lot of data which will be which continuously the backend system will be pulling out of the chargers need to be analyzed. Okay, in terms of the user behavior, in terms of the device behavior, in terms of the energy fluctuations, temperature fluctuations. All these are very necessary to for any business in the in charging station management. And another vital part of it is how how good experience the EV users are getting. Okay, so I'll tell you, today we have lot of apps in the market where users can download and search for the nearest charging station, and then they can go and they can start charging. Okay, uh, uh, but what happens is the live status of the chargers is not correctly shown in the apps. That is very, I would say, that is very a drastic thing which has been happening in the market. Because as a EV user, if I am searching for a charger, I am seeing it is available, I go there and I see it is down for maintenance. Okay, but in the app it is showing it is still available for usage. That is a very pathetic experience. So what at TelioEV we have done is we have ensured that we will give connector wise availability of the charging station. Okay, not just the device, the availability of each connector. If a charging station has two connectors, we'll give the availability of both the connectors. One is busy, one is not busy, and we are also giving them experience of booking in advance. Okay, they can book immediately, they can book, they can go and they can charge. So like this, this is very crucial to have a seamless, a smooth experience for the EV users. And there's another part to it. While we are looking at the supply, the demand part of it, even the supply has to be managed very efficient. The supply in the sense of energy management, the grid management, the energy management. So we require efficient energy management systems in the back end, where a dynamic load balancing should happen, wherein if there is load fluctuation, the machine should adjust. The software has the capability to adjust the machine according to the load capabilities. So all of these are very essential. There are technologies which are coming in for smart grid integration and all. So we are looking forward to bringing all of these in a very fruitful way for our customers.
So picking different elements from different spaces, binding them together in unison, so that you give a seamless experience, so to speak, to your customers, and be it businesses or be it the end users, like say individuals like us who are using EVs, right? So you talked of predictive modeling, you talked of data analysis, and that begs the question now. These things, say like machine learning, analytics, these give way to more novel and almost fantastical objectives, like say, for example, supporting autonomous driving features. So essentially, they will be powered by software itself. So what software advancements do you see, do you think will be supporting autonomous driving features in electric vehicles?
See, frankly speaking, autonomous driving has been, a prolonged research which has been going on that. And after a major incident, uh, uh, lot of government agencies have come forward to banning it. But then again, it took a U-turn, and there's a whole lot of story about autonomous driving. But cutting it short, speaking of the how the software and hardware announcements are happening in there. So I think there's lot uh, there are a lot of dependabilities we can see in terms of sensors. Okay, there's a sensor fusion software. There are a lot of machine learning and AI algorithms which are happening in the place. Uh, See, when I'm talking about sensors, so we should look at the cameras. There are different types of autonomous driving. There are partial autonomous driving. They are
FSD.
completely driverless. Yeah, driverless. Automation which has been happening. So there are different algorithms which are going in place for that, and um, may it be any mode of autonomous, but there are few basic things which are very mandatory or very must have kind of things, like camera sensors, radars, ultrasonic sensors. So all these sensors, it requires a software in the background to manage it. Okay,
Yeah.
so generally it is called sensor fusion software. So wherein a software which is controlling all kind of sensors, the camera sensors, the brake sensors, the radars, the ultrasonic sensors, all of this. So to get a complete 360-degree view of your vehicle surroundings. Okay, so that is something which is very crucial in autonomous driving. Next, coming to the next part, so it also requires some kind of machine learning and algorithms, so that it should adapt to the different um, um, driving environments. So what kind of traffic signals it should follow, what kind of lanes it has to follow. If few countries have the right and few countries have the left driving, so this all of this has to be adopted, and the machine should adopt to these kind of changing environments. So I think a lot of testing has to be done on that, and a solid machine learning algorithms has to be channelized. Like we have been working on natural language generation, uh, and natural language uh, uh, predictions. So all of this is happening in backend. But an autonomous driving, it is a high risk environment. So I think a proper testing has to be done for this. Another part is mapping and localization. So I think most of the environment now, we have a lot of mapping technologies, lot of satellites over there which are giving us the live feed. So the accuracy of the position, the environment, if it is raining, how the car should move, if it is fog, what the how the machine should behave. So all this is very important, and for this, I think localizing and mapping it correctly is also one part of software where it is required. And I think the very evident part, a very necessity part, would be the controlling the systems. So there are different systems. There's accelerator, there's a brake, there's a clutch, there's a gear. So all these things have to be controlled by some controlling system, a central unit, maybe if you talk in sense of a computer or something, a central management unit kind of a thing, which makes real time adjustments, which makes a driverless driving a very smooth experience. So yeah, so that is my experience has been. Lastly, I think, and most importantly, the safety and um, the safety and the security of the the passenger for an autonomous driver has been at a very high stake. So I think that is something, some mechanism has to be there in place for proper safety and security. So even softwares can contribute there as well. So yeah, I think most of the parts, um, I think most of the parts we require software and machine learning and kind of technologies for autonomous driving in electric vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, to derive intelligence out of, you may have a bundle of sensors all around the car, and even then you would need a software, be it in whichever form, right? Be it a machine learning software, from some or the other provider to be able to draw intelligence out of the data that it gets from those sensors, and then and only then will we be able to make these self-driving, autonomous driving ambitions that we have yielded into solid reality. Now,
Very true. And I think this is very possible in EVs rather than ICs. Yeah.
hmm, well, EVs primarily um, are a software backed experience, is what I could gather until now.
Yeah.
ICs not more EVs more so than ICs, and particularly in terms of
Yes.
intelligent features, right? And then I feel that these features, as when they are introduced into electric vehicles, and when they turn out to be a time tested functionality, ICs also start, although skeptically, but start adopting these features in order to make themselves more relevant to the customers. So then it
Yeah.
is a win-win-win kind of a situation. Um,
Yeah.
Now, coming to another tangent, let's look at something that is almost mandatory for an EV experience, that is interoperability. What do you have to say on the software standards and protocols which are crucial for interoperability in the EV industry?
See, I think all the, I mean, almost all the industries have some standard protocols,
Hmm.
and there are standard, uh, processes and protocols which has to be followed.
Hmm.
And I'm glad. I mean, EV industry is, racing towards, generalizing and standardizing a lot of protocols,
Hmm.
which was not the case, I think, 3 4 years back.
Hmm.
So a lot of, people were using Bluetooth. A lot of people were using, even today Tesla has its own, proprietary,
Hmm. Yeah.
protocols.
Yeah.
But I think standardizing the protocols gives us the flexibility, to, interact with, uh, the machines which are, are not exactly of a single model or make.
Hmm.
That gives, it will be, if I could say in a marketing language, it will be more of a customer centric market we are
Hmm.
creating with standard protocols and,
Hmm.
processes.
Hmm.
So coming to the interoperability, the interoperability is a very, I think, a very required fundamental, technology in today's EV,
Hmm.
because we are all creating the charging infrastructure, but we are all creating a different, universe of the charging infrastructure. So
Hmm.
that somewhere these universe has to collaborate,
Hmm.
to work together for creating a better experience for the drivers of, EVs,
Hmm.
and that power comes from interoperability. So there are a lot of, standard protocols, like I said, OCPP protocol, Open Charge Point Protocol. So which gives you on communication between the devices and the backend software, and which you can use for, remotely monitoring and managing your chargers, whatever, no matter whatever location the chargers are. So
Hmm.
sitting at your office, you can actually see what is happening in your charger, how much charging has been happening, what is the billing has been happening, if there is any fault. So you
Hmm.
can, via the error codes, you can actually understand what kind of error has been happening. So that is the power of OCPP we have, and the same power is required in interoperability, because now we are actually accessing the network which is designed by some other company on our platform. So
Hmm.
that is something, there's a standard protocol, separate standard protocol for that, called OCPI,
Hmm.
okay, Open Charge Point Interface,
Hmm.
where the interface stands for interface between two networks. Okay, basically, there are two networks on two different platforms, and they are interacting with each other. So
Hmm.
that is the power which is coming from OCPI, which is communicating between the networks. OCPP gives us the power to communicate between the device and the software. OCPI gives us, the power to communicate between the networks. Okay, then there are other, standard protocols. If I say ISO 15118, so ISO 15118, I think most of the companies now are adopting it for plug and charge.
Yeah.
Okay, so the moment you plug the connector to the vehicle, it will recognize which vehicle it is, and the charging will start automatically. And in the back end, whatever the payment has to happen, whatever the the settlement has to happen, it will happen in the back end. So you actually don't need a a scanner to mobile application to scan a scanner and start charging. All the stuff is gone. Plug and charge is very smooth. Just plug the charger, start the charging. Then there are other protocols as well. Like if I talk about protocols on the connector level, there is a CHAdeMO, there is a CCS protocol, combined charging system, which is widely adopted nowadays for fast charging specifically. Uh, and if I talk about the supply side, as I was mentioning about the dynamic load balancing, so there are protocols such as Open ADR, Open Automated Demand Response. So this is basically used for primarily focus for energy management. Okay, and on the similar lines, there are protocols for smart grid management. Okay, there are protocols for connected home over IP. So there are different protocols which are very standardized in the market, available in the market, and which has been continuously adopted by the companies, to give a flawless, a smooth, a seamless experience for their drivers of EVs. So the list goes on, but I could recall, so many of them.
Thank you so much, Abdul. And uh, well, on the note of this interoperability thing, that makes the industry as well, particularly say in this context, the EV industry too, be more able to incubate more players, newer players, startups, because they will not be bound to develop an entirely new ecosystem, so to speak, from scratch. They'll be able to leverage the systems, networks already in place, and then provide maybe services or products that actually enhance the experience of the existing EV users and the users that will be coming in further, instead of
True.
squandering away their resources trying to set up an entire ecosystem, which then again will not add, say, from a user point of view. If you start doing something, by the time you reach the, how do I say, break even point in terms of offering the experience, the end user does not win. He or she stays
Yeah.
at the same point as the person did, say, a certain amount of time ago. So I feel that interoperability within networks, within systems, is absolutely mandatory also for the industry or the players in the industry, which are or which will to be able to perform better and to
Yeah.
keep their ambitions alive, fantastical as they may be. Um, on I'll conclude this with borrowing your perspective, your experience on the emerging software technologies and innovations that you think, you feel will shape the future of electric vehicle services.
So I think there are a lot of emerging technologies we are coming in. It is very hard to list out all of them, because every I think every moment while we are talking now, there are people doing a lot of research and they're coming up with something fantastic.
Mhm.
And I think that is the beauty of innovations, which is highly regarded in the market. And so if I could recall a few, there are works happening on the battery technologies. Okay, there are a lot of different type of batteries. I think I had given a earlier webinar on that as well, where I mentioned a lot of different materials has been used in the battery technologies. So that is something which has been happening. So coming on to the software part, on the same line, there is an advanced BMS which is coming in the market. Okay, I think most of the preliminary work has already been done, but the BMS which was just giving us the information earlier, okay, about the battery, now it has been given the capability of self-optimizing the batteries. Okay, so it was just monitoring. Now it has the capabilities to optimize the battery health, extend the lifespan of the battery. Okay, so ensuring efficient charging, no, the charging of the battery, charging, discharging. So I think software as a whole is playing a very crucial part in the the crucial component of an EV, which is the battery. Yeah. So advanced BMS is one thing I could recall. Other things are like, there are a lot of advanced fleet management, softwares which are coming in the market, where you can actually, optimize the routes depending on the battery life. Okay. So your battery charge state is, say less than 50, the route will be automatically optimized and the driver will get a very efficient and optimized route.
Very
Okay.
important. Yeah.
Again, you can increase the fleet performance, the performance of the vehicle using the predictive modeling and AI capabilities. And then you don't have to worry about the maintenance of the vehicle because because we have entire control of the EVs. You can actually get a timely reminders. You can actually be guided when you have to go for a service of your vehicle, when you have to actually look for the component replacement, when you can actually have to look out for different accessories or parts of it. Okay. So scheduled maintenances, which were, I would say, absent in the ICs, or I would say very luxury cars would have that. Now we are with the capabilities of this software, we can have it in our a lot of commercial fleets as well. Then I think there is a lot of transactions which are happening because now the exposure is happening on the internet for this particular EVs. So we have to be very create a very secure environment. So blockchain is coming in place to make the environment more secure. Okay. For energy trading, or the transactions related to charging, or for vehicle to grid charging. So all these interactions have to be secured. So a lot of blockchain technologies are being used there. So yeah, I think there's a long list if I go on, but overall, right from the maintenance, the monitoring, the management, the security, everything, everywhere, there is an innovation happening in software for betterment of EVs, for betterment of experience creation for the EVs.
Really intriguing, the thing that you mentioned, incorporating blockchain to facilitate energy trading. It seems like we are talking, the future is talking to us in the present.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes this webinar. Thank you so much, Abdul. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for this candid conversation with us.
Thanks a lot, Anak. I think it was a wonderful experience for me as well. And yeah, I'm looking for more of this. Yeah.
Not at all short of feeling honored to have you here. And thank you to our audience. I'm sure our audience enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And well, folks, I request you to follow us through our channels or on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We shall see you soon with another engaging episode. Well, until then, keep sending us your thoughts and questions. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.